What's up, everyone? Todd DeLuca here, back for another week of my college football top matchups. We're at week 10 of the college football season, and this week is pretty dang stacked. Let's get right into it. First game for this week, number 9 Oklahoma traveling to number 22 Oklahoma State. The last Bedlam game for the very foreseeable future, with Oklahoma moving to the SEC after this season. This game is not the biggest game of the week in terms of grand college football playoff implications, things of that nature. But when it comes to chaos, very few rivalries, very few games, if any, does chaos better than Bedlam. It feels like something always happens in these games, and now you have the last Bedlam game for who knows how long. Chaos just feels bound to happen. So for that sake, it's on the list. And on top of that, OU was coming off a huge loss. Let's dive into the game, because 2 weeks ago, Oklahoma played with fire against UCF. They didn't get all the way burned, but I thought, okay, they're going to wake up now. They beat Texas. You kind of have the next week, the next game coming up after that. UCF don't play so great. They're going to bounce back against Kansas. That didn't happen. You get upset on the road against Kansas. You get your first loss of the season. Now you go into Bedlam. And the biggest thing I take away from that Kansas game was the lack of trust, it almost felt like, in Dillon Gabriel, who we've been hearing from the OU coaching staff, that's a Heisman candidate. That's been the energy that we've been seeing. This is one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. And he only threw the ball 19 times in the game. Yes, there was bad weather, but if you look on the other side, Kansas's backup quarterback, Jason Bean, threw the ball 32 times. You took the ball out of his hands at the end of the game. It was weird. It was very, very weird. But I expect to now see the inverse of that. I expect to see some Big 12 football in this game. OU's defense has been pretty solid throughout this entire season. Last couple weeks, iffy at points. But I expect some Big 12 football in this one, because I think OU is going to come out slinging the ball. Kind of get a little bit of get back for Gabriel after last week's game. I think they're going to put all their trust back into him. And OSU's offense has been rolling in the last couple of weeks. They have been absolutely cooking. 39 and then 2 games of over 40 points. They've been doing their thing. Neither team wants to lose this game. OU has their playoff hopes alive. They have their Big 12 championship hopes alive. OSU would love nothing more than in the last Bedlam game, and it being in Stillwater, Oklahoma, at OSU, they would love nothing more than to completely ruin it for Oklahoma in the last Bedlam game and be able to say, we were the winners in the last game of Bedlam. So as you go off to the SEC, just know the last game we played, we won. I think this game is going to be so much fun and so incredibly chaotic. I can't wait. Next up, game number 2 for me, number 14 LSU at number 8 Alabama. And for me, this game comes down to the defenses. But let's first talk about the LSU offense, because they have been absolutely doing their thing. They've been really, really good this year, leading the country in scoring, first down, and third down conversions so far this season. They've been incredible. They really have been, and that all stems to Jaden Daniels, their quarterback, who's up to 30 total touchdowns, 5 rushing, and only 3 interceptions, the second highest QBR in the nation. He's good. He's really, really good. But the LSU defense, not as good. Not as good as their offense by any means. And this is where I kind of get to the point of the defense is what it's going to come down to. Because on the Alabama side, their offense, I wouldn't say it's been completely inconsistent, but they've absolutely had their lull moments. And their defense, on the other hand, Bama's defense, is really, really good. So you kind of combine everything. And I go back to my original comment where this is going to come down to the defenses. I trust Alabama as a whole lot more than I trust LSU as a whole. LSU's offense is incredible. Alabama's offense has been solid, has had some bad moments, has had some good moments. But can LSU's defense force them into those bad moments? I don't know. I don't have the confidence in LSU's defense to be able to do that. Whereas Bama's defense, they're going to get a stop or two. They're going to. LSU's offense is absolutely incredible, but I do think Bama's defense is good enough to get a stop or two. Bama's offense can't have an off night by any means, and is that a possibility? Absolutely. We've seen that. But when it comes down to it, and I look at these teams as a whole, I think Alabama is the better team. They'll be at home. I don't think LSU can come in and pull off this upset. But if they do, it's going to be on the back of Jaden Daniels, and he's going to have to absolutely cook this Alabama defense, which is really, really talented. I'm going with Bama. Okay, let's get to the game of the week. Number 12, Missouri at number 2, Georgia. This game is really, really exciting to me just because it's fun to see a new face or a fresh face near the top of the SEC. I think people thought Missouri would be good. I don't know if we thought they would be this good, but now they're at number 12 in the nation, and they're going into one of the biggest games that they've had as a program since their move to the SEC. And this one is really exciting because Missouri has a solid all-around offense, a stout defense, everything to play for, and at the same time, nothing to lose, which is exciting. But they still come in as pretty big underdogs to Georgia, at Georgia, which I get. It makes sense, but at the same time, everything to play for, yet nothing to lose. And looking at it from the Georgia perspective, this begins a gauntlet of ranked teams. They have 3 ranked opponents in a row. And as of right now, if you look back at their schedule, they played one ranked team who was ranked at the time, who was Kentucky. They were ranked number 20 at the time of playing that game. But now, nobody on their schedule is ranked. Nobody on their schedule that they've played so far this season is ranked at this current moment. This is where we find out how good is Georgia. We know they're good. Don't get me wrong. We know that this is a very, very good football team. But how good? What tier do they find themselves in? We start to find that out this week. And I am really, really excited about it because we're going to either find out that Georgia is Georgia and they're legit and they're ready to go win another national championship, which I think can already probably be said right now, but we're going to really find out and find that solidified and get a really good idea for that. Or we get one of the most chaotic moments that we've seen in college football in a minute. And frankly, I'm always rooting for chaos. That's what I'm always going to root for is chaos. I love the chaos, and that's what part of what makes college football so great. Missouri, do I think that they come in to Georgia and win this game? No. Do I think that the story around it and what would come of it could be really fun if they do? Absolutely. But ultimately, I don't see it happening. I think Georgia is legit. I think they are up to Georgia standards, and I think they will be in this game. Might not be the best Georgia team we've ever seen. I don't think that's the case, but they're legit, and they're still absolutely one of the best teams in the nation. I think they start proving that with the win against Missouri before heading on this ranked gauntlet. That does it for me for week 10 of the college football season. Let me know who you think is going to win these games, and if you have any other matchups that you're looking forward to this weekend, let me know down below.